Hi, I'm Damon Hatfield and this is IGN Live at E3. If you missed any segments, be sure to check the back catalog on e3.ign.com or youtube.com/E3. Our next game goes out to all you giant robot lovers out there, which should be everyone. The Transformers are back, but unfortunately, the war isn't going too well for the Autobots. Let's take a look at Transformers: The Fall of Cybertron.
Thank you, Damon. My name is Mitch Dyer. I'm here with Matt Teeger, game director, High Moon Studios. What's your game? Tell me everything about it.
Everything?
Yes.
Just a one quick sentence?
How does it end, first off?
Well, it ends kind of at the beginning of G1 in the sense that the Autobots and Decepticons have been at war for a long time period. And I guess we're spoiling the end, but maybe the journey is what's so fun in this game, right? Is that they're leaving their home, Cybertron. They don't even know where they're going to go. Ultimately, we know they end up on Earth, but they don't even know where they're headed yet.
That's the journey, I guess. We're seeing Optimus Prime. He's in a bit of a journey right now, laser beaming stuff.
Yeah, well, Optimus is a great character, right? He is the leader of the Autobots. He is super powerful for a reason, and we really wanted to show him off as the leader in as many ways as we could. That's the story, the audio, but also like what his ability is. And so his special ability, as you can see him on screen occasionally, is he can control Metroplex, a city-sized transformer.
That's big.
And yeah, he's huge. And I thought we all thought that would be a great way to kind of show off how much the Autobots all respect him, that he's controlling a city-sized transformer.
Overcompensating, maybe? Optimus, maybe a little bit?
Maybe, I don't know.
So every Transformer in Fall of Cybertron has their own ability. Optimus Prime has Metroplex. What else can people look forward to messing around with each character?
Each character, as you kind of said, is really special and is going to challenge you tactically. So Starscream can fly, he can turn invisible. Grimlock, my personal favorite, right? He
turns a dinosaur.
He turns into a dinosaur. Bruticus is the combination of 5 Transformers into a Colossus. He's 80 feet tall and stomps around on the battlefield. We've got Bumblebee as a playable character. We've got Cliffjumper. Jazz has a grappling hook. All completely different gameplay styles. So when you mix up like some of these cool abilities with different vehicle types, they all generate all these different play patterns that are really unique.
Definitely. So where are we now in this campaign here?
We're relatively early on in the campaign at this point. Optimus Prime has kind of gathered all the remaining Autobots into one small spot. And the Decepticons they're basically genocide is their plan, right? They're trying to kill the idea of freedom, and the only way to do that is to destroy everyone who believes in freedom. So they're marching the army up on what's left of the Autobots. And Optimus Prime, he's special. He's the leader for a reason. And so he calls upon this kind of ancient power, and he doesn't quite know what's going to get. But he knows that if he doesn't do something that changes the tide of battle right now, they're going to lose. And what happens is Metroplex gets transformed. So then as you play through the level with Metroplex, you are beating back the Decepticon army. Ultimately, you break their back, and you've changed the fate of the Autobots going forward.
Yeah, I guess a city-sized robot's probably a good countermeasure to like a bleak apocalypse.
To pretty much everything, right?
Yeah.
He stomps on everything.
Yeah. So Optimus can call him in anytime he wants, or is that situational?
His ability is based on a cooldown timer, so you can use it whenever you want to, as frequently as the cooldown timer, I guess, lets you. But what's great about him is you never quite know what you're going to get. Sometimes he'll rain down fire with an artillery strike. Other times he's going to step on the battlefield, crush some interesting things. So you never know what's going to happen. I think that's part of the big fun with Metroplex.
Totally. This, what kind of weapons are we looking at for?
Well, that's one of the great things about this game is, we're a sci-fi game, right? So yes, we have sniper rifles and shotguns and submachine guns, but because we're so sci-fi, we can do other kinds of guns too.
Right.
So we've got lightning guns and Tron disc guns and shotguns that when you kill the enemy, that you actually leeches some health back. All sorts of different kinds of things that we can do that are really different. And I believe the weapons are one of the real strengths of the game. So there's what's called the Teletrans store, is this place where you can go and buy and upgrade your weapons. You really invest in the shotgun or this, Tron disc shooter, whatever it is you really like. You can spend a lot of time and effort kind of maxing that out. And I think that's a huge part of the fun.
Totally. We got to look at Optimus there. We're just going to switch over to another mission, see if we can get a look at something else. Who are we going to play as now?
So Starscream is the other one I kind of mentioned, and he's a great example of, if Optimus does a great job of showing off the scale and the epicness of the world, Starscream does a great job of showing off choice. How do you want to play? So you've got your character with a variety of weapons, and we'll show you a couple of cool new weapons we didn't show before. You got your plane. You can turn invisible. So do you want to be fly to the good sniper spot, turn invisible, and use your sniper rifle?
Yes.
Do you want to take the shot? Do you want to take your shotgun, dive bomb in, land in the middle of everybody, blast everybody out?
Also good.
Transform and get away before they ever can do anything. Do you want to fly underneath all these kind of cool floating platforms, get to the other side before the AI can react? Like, how do you really want to play? When you add that to all the multipliers at all these different kind of weapon styles, your vehicle type, your special ability, you really can play any way you want. So in this next section, what you'll see is a big open space with lots of floating platforms, and you can kind of tackle it in any way that tickles your fancy. And what's cool is you can play through it once and then play through it again and have a whole different experience based on your second playthrough. So what we're going to see here is we have kind of a tighter space, and I believe the tighter spaces do have a role in this game where they kind of we can bring you narrower, a little more narrow focus on some story elements or some things. And then once it opens up, boom, you're going to see, you know, the bigger spaces feel even bigger.
Yeah,
so we do a
makes
lot
you appreciate that scope.
We do a lot of that kind of big to small area stuff because I do think it kind of allows you to really express your choice.
Sure.
So now he's going to step out into a much bigger area here, and you're going to see, you know, so what do we got? We got a sniper rifle here. You can shoot explosive barrels to take guys out if they're next to him. But now, as soon as he finishes this crew off, you're going to get a look at how big this space is and the kinds of choices that you can be making. So it's this, as I said before, kind of these big floating platforms, how you want to tackle it, which is different than other flying missions. We have other ones where it's almost like a giant jungle gym where everything's kind of interconnected with catwalks. This is a very different space than one of those, and it does really allow you to customize your tactics, which is, I think, the thing we're most excited about in the single players. All these crazy abilities combined with how do you want to play.
Right on. So, big levels, lots of places to go. How is that for your level designers? They've got to be going insane.
Very, very, very hard. You know, what we try and do is stay in low-risk geometry as long as possible,
right,
and then stay longer. You know, we try and really focus on some core metrics about how big spaces need to be, how far can we push the engine, but really a lot of focus testing, a lot of letting people break the game on purpose, and then stay low res and malleable as long as we can, and we put art in at the last possible second.
Right. So how are you breaking up the gameplay in terms of vehicles? Because right now we're Starscream, it's a little bit stealthy because you can be invisible. How do you guys figure out your pacing throughout the campaign? Because it's not just Autobot and Decepticon campaigns anymore. It's all mashed together now.
There's a little bit of voodoo, right? A little bit of instinct that goes in there. What we do is we lay out we kind of at the beginning, the lead designer kind of created this matrix of abilities and vehicle types
and leadership.
And yeah, and then kind of laid out like how to really take you through some interesting kind of progression throughout the entirety of the game. From there, we laid out Autobot, Decepticon, story pieces. It really is actually focused on core gameplay first in terms of, okay, when's our first flying mission? When's our second flying mission? And you know, okay, you've used this mechanic before. How can we advance that mechanic 45 minutes later, not 2 hours later, because that's too far away. So just, you know what I mean? Like that kind of stuff is what we did. It's all really kind of laid out that way.
Awesome. When's it out?
Pardon me. We are coming out on August 28th, so it's not that far away. I'm really excited for gamers to get their hands on it. Coming out on 360 and the PS3, and one of our big announcements is we found a partner to work with. We have a PC SKU as well, same day and date. Really excited for that.
Awesome, looking forward to it. All right, that's it for our Transformer show. We're gonna take it back to you, the beautiful, the lovely Damon Hatfield.
Thanks, guys. So how do you like giant robots, my audience? Let us know by leaving a comment below or following IGN on Twitter and tweeting out to us. Right now, it's time to serve up the brains because a few zombies are going to shamble onto the set. The Walking Dead Episode 2 is coming next.